What is going on, guys? It is finally time. It is finally time to talk about signature force. Don't worry about what's going on the screen. I'm just going through the menus as I find things to talk about. But make sure that I wanted to put this in the video too. I feel like, I don't know, if hopefully you guys are doing this, man. These free 2 clocks a day. Keep the doctor away, I'm saying. But let's go talk about the bird and the bees, because now that I've used signature force enough times, I feel like I can. Well, I already had an opinion on it, but I wanted to put it all in one little fancy pantsy video. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Cash, and today's video, as I've already said, is about signature force. Now that all of them are unlocked, every single character under the sun can have signature force, no holds barred. And you know, it's literally, you know, the contention or the talk of the town, right? Signature force, pretty much, as you guys know, I can click on any of them and it will tell you pretty much this is the main part of it. No one cares about this part, which is, I don't even know what this does. Yeah, provides buff to the heroes, more attack, defense, HP, cool, right? And this one, more defense and HP, cool, right? No one talks about that. What is this, more stats? Yeah, cool. And then eventually there's 2, which is coming soon. It's not ready yet, but no one gives a flying fuck about that. Everyone only cares about this thing right here, and that is the free elemental damage based on the nation that you come from. You guys already know how this works, and now it's fire, ice, I think this is grass, nature. This one, what is this one? Light? Is this light? I actually don't know. Oh, okay, it is light. Okay, cool. Light, darkness, and this is machine. So do I like it? And I think when I first saw signature force, I did like it. I didn't know how they were going to implement it, but as we all know, it is definitely this weird thing where pretty much it's implemented by the character not even being on the screen. As long as you do this, as long as you, whether you whale or don't whale, you buy the tickets to $27, you get enough of these generals. You need at least 3 generals to do it. You need the base unit, you need the one that you're gonna put into that base unit, and then you need the other ones you start sacrificing. And then boom, now you are now doing what lovers do. You are now in the signature force meta. You are now able to do it, which is not that hard to do with all the changes that they made over time. It's very easy to get generals. It just might take you some time, whether it's through the scout system, whether it's through this Exos pass here, which I still have not bought. I'm still on the fence, because, you know, what's coming up. PS5 is kind of coming up in a few days, and I don't know. I don't know how, if I'm going to be investing too much more into this game where I could be playing some really spicy things, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes down to the signature force, I think that there are a few things that I would like changed about it. And the first thing that I would like changed about it, you guys let me know how you feel, is that I do feel that the corresponding general has to be in the match. I don't like the fact that, you know, let's say Lenobre, you know, Rachel, this is for Rachel, and everyone that's in there, we can actually go to Manage Heroes, which is a really nice change actually. And I have most of the heroes, so we can go through, yeah, boom. So let's go look at Lenobre, right? You can see everyone that I have that's from there. See, like FC Mahar is in there, right? So that's pretty cool. Xeon, when he got that, he was tearing it up, especially because all these characters can now technically throw out something and have fire attached to it. And fire right now is really good because a lot of people are awakening into fire. So you look at that, Glenn would dropping some fire from the bombs and stuff like that. Actually, FC Glenn would be really good with that, because if you guys even know his S1, whenever he does it, you automatically get turned into a fish or whatever like that, because he gets the buff and then it applies. It's really weird. And then on top of that, he would hit signature force. Really strong character. But my issue here is that you don't even need Rachel in the match for that to be triggered. I do think that that's a little weird. I think they should force you to use the slot. The reason why I want them to force you to use the slot is because it limits some of the capabilities of the team comps that is. It's like now you can just throw in Baraka into whatever and it doesn't really matter. Same thing with Rara. You know, like, yes, Rara and Bathory are a unit. You know, they are a unit together. Where is it? Wrong one. Greenland. So yeah, they are run together. Same thing with Bathory. All of them are kind of within that one little set, right? You know, that's the set. But you know, when I don't put Bathory in that comp, like how I don't have Bathory in my other comp, I don't think Rara should have signature force enabled when she is not with her. I think that the general should be projecting that. It's like they're projecting it through the account, and it feels really weird that that's how that works. Again, everything that I'm going to be saying in this video is going to be MFO, so please feel free to YFO in the comment section below. Like, comment, and subscribe while you're at it. You know, why are you not doing that? That's ridiculous. But I do think that that should be one of the things. Now, everything that I'm saying here is either in combination with each other, or at least one of them should happen. So, you know, you guys let me know which ones you like and which ones you don't like. The second thing that I kind of want is that it only works in PvE. I don't think that Signature Force should be in PvP, though I think this might be contested, is because as annoying as it is, it does allow more flexible stuff to happen in PvP. As you guys saw, like you know, all of a sudden, like I can use Luke and like Luke will start doing damage, but at the same time, it's like all of a sudden Luke is doing damage. All of a sudden these characters are doing stupid amounts of damage, when if you actually pay attention, oh, why don't I even back out to here, right? If you actually pay attention, can I go through team? I think it might still. Where is it? Where are you, baby girl? There she is, Rara. So if you look at Rara's S3, the Galactic Baptism, it's piercing damage. Piercing damage, if I'm not mistaken, was supposed to be the way to go through defense, either a percentage through the defense or ignore defense. The only way we currently have to ignore defense, whether it be PvE or PvP, is Signature Force. So even though the game already has something that's supposed to do that, it doesn't seem to like really go abide that. So like these weird things that, you know, like this very strange way that they're doing things, it's just odd. It's like that this is the only way that we can ignore defense in the game, where most of the games, I think mobile games, in my opinion, always have a way to do that. So you can't, there's always a counter towards the tanks, but now it's being used as not a counter towards tanks, or you know, oh, you need to bring in this one character that does it to snipe out some other character. It's not a unique skill. What I'm trying to say, it's like normally in a game, I'll use Summoner's War, they had Lucian, he was ignore defense. I think who's it in Epic 7? I can't even think about who's the ignore defense guy in Epic 7. But there's always a character. It's usually what I'm trying to say, it's usually a skill or a passive. You know, it's not something that is getting applied to multiple units at a time, unless it's a buff granted by a unit that's gonna give you all, like, you know, AoE, or maybe granted to one character, and then like you would do it in a order. So let's say you have Hero A buff Hero B, now Hero B has Signature Force. I think that would be a cool way to do it, you know, like, and I don't know, like I just feel like it's just not that it's lazy, like it's not that it's lazy. I understand why they did it, and they obviously wanted you to do it so then you can go through the chapter PvE, which is where it's for. It's not really for PvP. There was no reason or nothing that made sense of it in PvP outside of, yes, maybe countering Tranquil, but even still, you have to bypass Tranquil in the first place. You have to hit Tranquil, and then the damage hits afterwards, so the character dies. So even if you want to say it, like I said before, it's like, oh, it's a battery counter, but you still have to be strong enough to then hit the Tranquil and then kill the character afterwards. But what people are already kind of doing with Iris and Frankie combo, you know, like, so they remove the shield from the character, or, you know, so you don't get shielded, and then the Fear of the Abyss proc goes on. So they kind of already had that in the game, so I feel like it wasn't meant to be necessarily a battery counter, because at this point, you know, there's no point, like, at this point, like, to counter battery, there's so many different ways to do it. There were already ways to do it before, so to add even more ways to do it, it just seems a little bit silly. If that's the case, you might as well just nerf battery at that point. Third idea that I had, so let's say that it's kind of piggybacking off the first one, that you have to have general in there, or I would have to say maybe you only get Signature Force in condition, and maybe the condition is changed by each character. So let's use Bathory as an example. Maybe Bathory doesn't have to, well, Bathory will have to be there, right? Or maybe the Greenland one only is triggered when you're using this amount of nature characters, and then Rachel's is if the defense is, you know, if their defense is this much. If at least one character has a defense of this, then you have that, like, you know, like it would be like an assassin's passive or like a tank passive, instead of it being like so brain dead as the way that it is right now. So let's say Garth is obviously a tank, and so is Frankie, so they're kind of different types of tanks. But let's say for Garth's, you know, if you have a total of 50,000 HP on your team, you activate the Garth, the Wasted Red Signature Force. It kind of gives you a little bit of a difference. So like you have to build this tanky team. You can't just go with all the characters under Wasted Red, which if I go back, a lot of them are like some little shrimpy shrimp, right? You know, like these characters, you know, aren't gonna be, I think if I remember correctly, See, look, Wasted Red is Rudley, but Rudley is like, what? Like, it's so weird. Because Rudley, I think, is, at least I always assumed he was Lenobe. But, you know, all these characters, so, like, you would have to pick some of the more tankier characters in here, at least to get the Wasted Red. And it could, and again, you would have to use these characters. Maybe you go with the tanky characters in another team comp and some supports, and then you end up with a, you know, the Wasted Red. But this, the only crazy part about what this suggestion is that you could potentially, especially with higher gear requirements and stuff, you can have multiple signature forces activated at the same time. But you could also, like, if it's, which is very dangerous, I do understand that could be very dangerous. It could make the problem even worse, because they got the HP one, they got the attack one, they got the defense one, and like there's crazy amounts of signature forces going on. A little chaotic, but then at least it's like planned chaos. It's a little bit more intricate that you had to go to, is that, especially because with the awakening system, you could really force it to be a very high number. So you'd have to have everyone on red, but if you have everyone on red for the Garf one, then you're not gonna have the Bathory one that's maybe based off attack. Or maybe you have to, which would be my next suggestion, maybe it only activates in the battle. Something that you have to initiate in the battle. So again, let's use Garf as an example. After you blocked 3 times, your Wasted Red activates. Again, I still would prefer, the main thing that I want is that the character has to be there. So like maybe if you block, or if the shared health thing mitigated a certain amount of damage or something like that, then you can have it that you can even make it stronger. Like you can make it that it's way worse than what it is. You can even change it so like characters like Wilkes, who can't really use it because her AoE skill is 0 mana, that she actually has access to it, and then it changes because since it's had to be activated through something else, it's dramatically stronger. Like maybe it's, I've noticed that you can block it, maybe it's not blockable damage anymore, and it's still ignore defense, and it's going to do a chunk, or maybe it auto crits. Maybe there's the basic version, and then if you initiate this, it crits all the time or something like that. Something weird, you know, like I don't mind it being chaotic. I don't mind, I love unlocking. It's kind of like Exodia. It makes everything Exodia like you have to assemble these pieces, and then you're able to win because you assemble the pieces, and the quicker you can do it, then certain characters actually might become even more meta. Maybe there's a character like a Luke who technically, through his buff, his S2 buff, he gives HP. He gives himself HP, so maybe he, instead of having a bunch of characters, all you need is for Luke to take a turn, or maybe him and another character that has a max HP thing, and then all of a sudden they can quickly activate signature force for you. Things like that, like, and then again, it goes back to, oh my god, it goes back to being able to, same thing what I wanted with Tranquil, that you can manipulate people's stats. So like if I have, like Bathory, I always wanted that Tranquil's active, but if you were to lower her attack, and then all of a sudden those units, some of her units won't be on Tranquil anymore because now her attack is lower, and then now there's characters with attack higher than her. Stuff like that. I really wish that there was a little bit more crazy strategy involved into the game. I think a lot of the strategy is somewhat base level. It's obviously based mostly on units, what the unit can do, and then you kind of go based on that. But I do think that there could be extra layer of depth, and especially with signature force, and as it goes forward, because like I said, we don't know what those next levels are. They could actually take some of my suggestions. They might even be already taking some of my suggestions with these additional levels up here. Like maybe signature force only activates in this, but then it'd be kind of pointless because we already know how signature force works, is that you're gonna need multiple dupes of a thing, like how all of these are level 1. I'm assuming what they're gonna ask in level 2 is for you to have a +2 transcended version of the character. So even though they're asking you to throw away, what is it, 5 characters? So first you need 3, right? You need 3 for this, then this one would be 4, then this one is 5, 6, right? And then 7, 8 generals. And then eventually I think they're gonna ask you for 9 onto your own, onto the dupe of, onto your master unit, your main one. So 9, and then possibly what, 10, 11? Like maybe they'll do 2 or 3. I don't really know what they're gonna do on these ones. And then they also have a 3 version of it, you know, so she looks mighty good. Oh yeah, there's even a 4. So like, who knows if the game will even last that long for us to get to those points that's actually gonna matter. But I think that I honestly think it has a lot of potential. It does have a lot of potential, but at the same time, it's ruining certain parts of the game. Like it's the PvE aspect of it, when you have to use it to bypass the story is bad, because there's other lackluster mechanics in those fights that make Signature Force being able to beat it seem stupid. And I think that that's what people's main issue is that, oh no, you could just do this. So what I'm gonna do in this video, how I'm gonna end it, is that everyone keeps telling me, right, if you want to beat the story, all you have to do is you can one-shot Dorka with Deva, right? And I'm gonna just go into the last stage, and we're gonna see if I can get to that point, right? And then I'm going to try to one-shot her either through a break. Maybe I'll see if I have to break her first, and then it will one-shot, or to see if, you know, we could just do it with even when she's not broken. So I will be back once I'm at the last stage. All right. Oh, that's unfortunate. Fun times. Anyway, so what we're gonna be trying to do here is that, like I said, I'm just gonna try to go straight for it when she's not broken. But I'm assuming people want me to do it when she's broken, so. So here we go. We're gonna go for it here. Does do a decent amount of chunk. I realize that I can't break her now because Ulum died like within the first couple seconds. There it is, 87,000.
Now that's a lot of damage!
87,000 if it crits, just because of her crit bonus thing. So yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. She's not my Deva is not awakened, regular, and she did 87,000 as long as it crits. That one didn't crit, as you saw. Signature Force, man. Here goes the 20K. Here we go. That's the crit. Oh my. Oh my. And that's, like I said, she's not awakened. I'll show you her gear right after this. And there he is. Awakened Zeon. I do site prediction. I do think that, yeah, buy some stuff. I do think that my prediction is that they're going to give you a lot of the other characters to the story. I really think that they should do that, in my personal opinion. And then have a summon or something like that for Schmid. So this is me officially coming out in video saying I apologize for most of the people that were telling me about Deva, and I was like, there's no way that she's gonna be able to do that. Well, I got three. You know, I got three things. This is 56. You know, her attack is 2400, which is nowhere near the likes of any of these other characters. Not her. Sorry, I'm just scrolling up. You know, 39, 35. So like but it's still true though. If I were to awaken her, you know, she would definitely maybe have one-shotted instead of it being like a double tap. Also, if Ulum didn't get pressured in the beginning, I could have easily got a broken. I could have guard broken her, and then remember it does double damage, so that 89 would have 100% been like in the 100,000s. It would have been ridiculously strong. There is truth to that. So I guess if you guys are having issues, and it's funny that this was the character that they did give us in the beginning of, not the beginning, but I think one of the little missions things that they have. So technically everyone should have a FC Deva somewhere in their back pocket. Hopefully that helps you guys get your Awakened Zeon, and if it worked on that stage, guess what, it's gonna work on every stage until they fix that, because just the way her passive works. Still doesn't change my suggestions. I still think that, yes, I think for PvE, I think that that's kind of okay, but still a little bit lacking in strategy. I don't know. It's really weird for me to be okay with that, but like, you know, that's that character. So yeah, maybe make another boss that's based on how much healing I do in a match or something like that, or sustain a damage that there's a timer or something like that. So I have to bring in Luke and use his broken stupidity and like in the block of Zion and stuff like that to withstand damage. Bring in something besides just DPS, you know, that's the DPS check at that point now. So give me something that makes me having to use defense, and then Signature Force, there's no defense mechanism to it at all. I mean, there might be in the tier 2, but hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying. Let me know your YFOs in the comment section below. Go get your Awakened Zeon. God, that's stupid. Anyway, look out for some Dark Souls content coming up. I'm just gonna see, supposedly there's gonna be some news coming out tomorrow about how to get the PS5. Like I said, I do not have a PS5 pre-ordered at the moment. So for me, I have to see whether or not I'm gonna be able to get that. If not, then I'll do a longer series. I just wanna see if I'm gonna do a long series of a Dark Souls run, or is it gonna be something quick that I'm gonna try to get through a couple days. It really depends on if I'm gonna get the PS5 on release or if I'm gonna get it like a week or so or something like that later. So look out for that. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Deva will find you if you have not. Just remember that every day at the cash, you know, it's your lucky day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.